guys, this is going to be the roster update for CN and CN owned railways, low horsepower power. So this is anything that's 3,000 horsepower or lower. That's currently in the roster on the Silver Creek sub. Most of these are mine, but this is the entire roster on the layout. So I'll let you know who owns them, who weathered them, what make they are, and then upgrades done. A lot of them are the same, but nonetheless. So without further ado, excuse my cough again. This is IC 9568. Started life as IC 9563. It's an Athearn Genesis. What else can I tell you? Mac rail, air conditioner, bits and bobs, the PTC on top. The decal on this side, that's why I showed it to you. And this side only is made by Circuit City. This is Matt, Circuit City. This guy was in a side swipe, I'm guessing. So that's where this comes from here, the decal. And then I just masked this off, painted it orange, put the warning labels back on over top of it. You can't really see it. Well, you can. There's a patch there in the fuel tank too. Did that out of styrene because, again, I think he got side swiped. I added ground lights, LEDs from the factory, decoder buddy, ESU power pack mini, and then obviously a version 5 lock sound decoder. I added air dryer on the back. Most CN units get air dryers back here to help with winter operations. And then weathered, obviously. And I added the snow plow to the front because the standard one didn't have it. So that's all for this guy. Oh, I did add the horn too. It was just off something else, so it isn't quite correct. It'll get changed in the future. Okay, this is IC 9571. This is another Athearn Genesis GP38-2. It was delivered just like this. I didn't renumber this guy. So standard upgrades, reflective striping, decoder buddy, scale sound system speaker, ESU power pack mini, Mac rail, bits and bobs on top, Mac rail AC unit. This guy did not get an air dryer. I'm not sure if I just didn't put it on or if he never received one. I'm not quite sure. This is one I did a while ago. So probably a couple years ago, I guess, this is one of my first 4 axles I think I did. So we'll have to go back and revisit him. And he got the P5 on top as per the prototype. And LEDs are stock from the factory. I just added the ground lights. So, on to the next one. All right, CN 9449. Oh, this one was a kind of a pain in the butt. It was just one of those units that doesn't go together quite well, but it ended up being really probably one of my favorites, actually. Not sure what it was out of the box. It was in the CN.ca scheme. I renumbered it 9449. LEDs, front and rear. Miniatures by Eric. Condolences to Eric's family. It's sad to hear he passed on. he made a lot of high quality parts for a long time. Anyway, MB ditch lights front and back, LEDs front and back, headlights, ditch lights, ground lights, air dryer, Canon & Co. fan on the very back one. You can tell it's larger than the rest. I added an E-bell in the front, and I bent my own hornpipe because I had to move it around the AC unit. A couple GPS things on top, and a Sinclair. I think I added, and weathered it slightly because he's not that dirty in real life. So that's all for that guy. Oh, and he has that really crackly E-bell on it, which I like. You can hear like the speaker messing up, kind of. So that's an ESU sound, but I just thought it was pretty cool. Okay, GTW 5856. This is one I built for one of the members at the club on consignment. It was 5856 out of the box. I gave it a heavy fading with an airbrush. As you can tell, it's super light blue. I like full body fades like this done with the airbrush. Paintbrush is good too, but for this, like just because it was all pretty uniform, the airbrush seemed the way to go. So I blasted it with 2 different colors of light blue, and then took the paint back off the 5856, the Operation Lifesaver, the little GT, cleaned it all up nice, kind of like you take off from panels on your grills once you paint them, if you use that technique like I do. So pretty straightforward there. Lock 5, decoder buddy, scale sound system speaker, ground lights, LEDs all the way around, details west, ditch light housings, top mount front and back, weathering, mac rail bits and bobs, that firecracker, AC unit on top, and I think that's all she got. That's all she got. It's a lot of work, but yeah, that's that one. Oh, scale sound speakers, sorry. They all have scale sound speakers, if I didn't say that. All right, CN 4116. What a creature this one is.
All right, 4116. Excuse me, guys. So this is the second one I did. I did 4028 first. 4116, I pulled the shell off, pulled the weight out of it, which is essentially the frame. Had the frame sent away to another member at the club. His brother is a machinist. And he popped a hole in it about the size of a Power Pack Mini. So the Power Pack Mini can fit in there. And it did. Besides that, it's this one is a stock Rapido motherboard. It's stock Rapido lights. It didn't. The prototype doesn't have ditch lights on the back. So we just kept the lighting. Scale sound system speaker. Went back together. Wasn't that easy to do. But nonetheless, went back together. Turned out really good. And then took the spark arresters off. Oh, right. And then the shell went out to Matt Wooten. And he cut the 36-inch fans off of it, front and back, behind the cab, and then under the winterization hatch. He shaved them down, filled them up. Then he built that 48-inch fan behind the cab. It's a Canon & Company fan. And then the winterization hatch, he actually cut in half, extended to make it as long as the prototype is. Like, you can't even tell. He did a great job. Then he sent those back to me, and then I put it all back together, and then I put the fans on, like glued them on with the hatch too. So now you have a 48-inch fan variant of this thing, which is just awesome. Spark arresters came off. Front left corner there, I cut some styrene patches because, yeah, there you go. Voiceover, live voiceover. I know it's messy, guys. Sorry, but it's just the way it was. I cut some styrene patches because there's weld plates there in real life. EOT antenna, reflective striping, and yeah, she turned out great. Just love this unit. And this guy also has the Proto Sounds pack. It's got from George there. Again, I'll put the link in the description. Yeah, horn and bell pack on here for me.
Oh, I renumbered this guy too. Forgot about that. So there's that too. It's not focusing. There we go, that's better.
Okay, GTW 6226. This guy was an IC unit as well. He was 9574, I think, when that run came out. This guy got a bit more work though. I got replacement side frames that have the full class brake shoes on them. I installed those. I got the little fuel tank for it. Built that, installed that. Stripped the IC and the numbers off it, obviously. And then put the Woodcrest 6226 style font on the side. Reflective smoke box draping, scale sound system speaker, decoder buddy, power pack mini, an air dryer, macro AC. He probably has PTC now, so I should probably revisit this guy as well. And I will down the road. And then, as all my units too, even on my 4-axles, I pull the windows out and then line them with a black Sharpie, the window and the like the frame of the window. It makes it look like there's window gaskets in there. Sorry guys, I got a cold. Yeah, I do that to all my units. It just adds another level of detail. And horn sounds are just they're not off one file. They're made from multiple ESU files, but they're all ESU products. And that's about all for this one. On to the next.
Off he goes. Technical difficulties. Okay. So much for the power pack. His wheels must be filthy. Off he goes. Hey! There he goes. Yeah, I think his wheels are pretty dirty. Okay, CN4028, another GP9 RM from the latest run from Rapido. This guy was a bit more difficult. He was the first one I built. He got ditch lights on the back, so because there was no spare auxiliary lighting outputs on the standard Rapido motherboard, I could have stole class lights, I guess, because the class lights don't work in half of these anyway. The switches are either gone inside or you turn them, they don't work. So, and I mean, we haven't used class lights at the railway since long before I started, and I've been there like 15 years. So I could have stole a red or a green, I guess. In retrospect, if I was doing it over again, I probably would have, instead of doing what I did, which was, again, rip it apart, take the weight out, send it away, and I had it milled, not to put a hole in for a power pack, but just the top, maybe 1/8 of an inch off, maybe 1/4 inch off. Anyway, I drew a line, so the top of the weight got cut this way. I gutted all the Rapido stuff, kept the Rapido front ditch lights, front headlights, and then added my own LEDs for the rear headlights and then rear ditch lights, pilot mount ditch lights I put on it. It also got a decoder buddy and a power pack mini. So it was kind of a Frankenstein. It works good. It's awesome. It's pretty. Oh, this has a Motown speaker in it. Tom makes so like I love JT stuff. Like the scale sound stuff. I have it obviously in like 40 locomotives or better, and every engine I build for people, I always say, do that. Tom's engines have a bigger driver in them, so they're louder, I guess. So it's kind of a toss up. It's the first one I used. Would I use one again? Yeah, the sound quality is nice and loud. So took the all-weather window off the other side, which I should have showed you on the other one as well, but I forgot. And reflective striping, EOT antenna, and heavily weathered. Yeah, that's it. So that's all for this guy. Technical difficulty there, but that's all for this guy. And I'll show you the lights on the back as he takes off. Oh, Proto Sound's bell and horn pack in this guy as well. Okay, CN 4911, Athearn Genesis. This was a Conrail 38 of some sort. It did come with, did this one come? Can't remember. Yeah, I think this one came with LEDs in it. Then I pulled the nose off and painted it white, did the Andy slip on top, added the Macrail AC PTC box on top. Then I turned it to GMTX because we had them at work. I think it was 23 or something like that. And then CN bought the GMTX units and they patched them over in the most crude, terrible ways. So this is one of the cleaner ones. So I thought I'd do the same thing and patch my GMTX unit. So I did. And this guy got a V5 with the power pack, integrated power packs in it. Got ground lights. And then reflective striping on it as well. And then I sold it to one of the members here at the club. So yeah, he's pretty sweet for sure. Yeah, it seems like a lot when you say it this fast. It seems like I didn't really do much, but it was a ton of work. Anyway, ex Conrail Athearn Genesis to CN 4911, and scale sound speaker obviously. And that's it for this guy. What a beauty. Okay, CN 4110. Another GP9 from the latest release from Rapido. This one was on consignment for a guy up here, for one of the members. So it's standard Rapido inside. He didn't opt for the crazy ripping the thing apart to add the power pack, which I get because actually these run really, really well. Mods on this guy were just the spark arresters, I think, came off. Added the EOT antenna, and then weathered, smoke box, reflective stripes, and a scale sound speaker. So, you know, pretty standard, I guess, if you want to call this guy a standard. But, yeah, and that's all for this guy. Oh, sorry. Custom sound pack in this dude. This is the full, this has the full sound pack from George there at Proto Sound Canada. Horn, bell, prime mover, which is a standard ESU prime mover, but wow. Sorry guys, I don't know what just happened to the camera there, but wow. Anyway, we'll try to get through this one and then maybe I'll reset it. This was built for a customer who is now our newest member, or second newest member. There's only 5 of us up here, so there's not a lot of us, but 9675 is an Athearn Genesis X-Go unit. So there is some green fading through on here. This member, he models a little bit, he's not quite current. He does like modern stuff, but it's like he likes to do like 10 or 15 years ago. So this guy wasn't super dirty like he is now, if he's even still in service. Weathered them, miniatures by Eric, ditch lights on the front, full LEDs all the way around. Ground lights, scale sound speaker, ESU V5 integrated power pack, and reflective stripes. So that's all for this guy. Just like the real ones, takes an hour to move.
All right, one of my favorite units I've ever done here is this guy. There's so much to do. He has so much character. Another Athearn Genesis GP38-2. This was, I'm not sure what the number was. Obviously it was a 9600 because the headlight is in the nose. It was an Operation Lifesaver one. Yeah, I didn't even know that there was one of these left out in the world until I saw it come through on one of the Facebook groups. Anyway, that's kind of neat. I should probably model that. And then I found out it was on its way out to Montreal. So I was like, well, now I have to model it because they're up here in Ontario. Excuse me again, guys. And I'm like, where am I going to find a Death Star 38 to use as the base for this? And then lo and behold, went on eBay. There it was. I got it shipped for I think it was under $200. I think it was maybe like $160 shipped. It had Tsunami 1 in it, and it was already weathered by Rob. Not heavy, just a basic some truck dirt. It wasn't too serious, so I was able to pull a lot of that weathering back off, and otherwise I wouldn't have been able to renumber it. Yeah, and then I had to give it the full LED upgrade package because it was incandescent bulbs. It was from that run. Renumbered it to 9628, took the Operation Lifesaver off the side, ripped the Illinois Central off the cab in half like the prototype is. And then added reflective striping, LEDs, obviously, power pack, mini, decoder buddy, scale sound system speaker. I added a crap ton of warning decals on this, like it has in real life. I put the beacons on top. The beacons don't work in real life. I have a buddy who works out in Montreal, and he had it. He said no, it hasn't worked. So there's always that toss up between, do you want them to work or do you want them to be scale? So for this one, I didn't light them up. Then Mac rail, bits and bobs on top, Mac rail AC, and then gave it that awesome weathering job. So yeah, he's one of my favorites. He's definitely a unicorn. Pretty cool.
Oh, Proto Sounds Canada horn on this guy too. Oh, and an air dryer. Sorry, guys. Zoom out a little bit to fit him in here. Excuse me. All right, CN 5341. This guy's an Overland. My dad bought him, I think, for like 120 bucks or something about 5 or 6 years ago, 7 years ago from an estate, I think it was. It's custom painted. The guy did a good job on the stripes and everything on it. It was a different number, so I stripped the number off it. The horn was on top of the bell. I moved that back. Added the Miniatures by Eric ditch lights on the front, and then kind of weathered it. There's a lot of rust and stuff on here, but I wasn't finished it. I did this a long time ago. And then it started messing up. Oh, added ground lights. It started shorting out and there was a problem, so I wasn't sure. So I sent it to Dan Darnell at Backshot Precision Modeling, because Dan is the Overland god. He's rebuilt probably thousands of these things by now. So he rebuilt the trucks on it, took it apart, put it back together, made sure it was all good. Then I asked him to, he installed a Keep Alive in it. So that was cool. So it's still in its infant weathering stages from my weathering skills from 2 years ago. So it's still good. It needs some more work done. I want to fade the stripes down a bit more. Probably get some prototype photos and kind of tee it up. It still needs reflective striping on it. It'll need an air dryer on it. Probably some warning labels and some decals and stuff. So, but it's still a cool unit. And until Bowser said, "Hey, we're going to build you these," they should be here, I think, from what I've heard, between fall and Christmas. So this was the best you could get. The Overland ones weren't or not Overland, Intermountain ones weren't that great. So if you get an Overland one, that was cool. And he has a scale sound system speaker in it. So that's all for this guy. Keep her on the tracks. All right, yeah, again, another CN GP9RM from Rapido. This one was for Trackside Mike. That's why I said his catchphrase. I forgot to mention the last 3 Jeeps that you've seen. I also stripped the CN noodle off the front and moved it down because they weren't in the right spot from the factory. This guy, Mike's by so many trains, so he didn't opt for that. This is just a scale sound system speaker, reflective striping, and a weathering job. It was pretty basic compared to the other ones. It still turned out great. It looks awesome. Yeah, everything else is stock Rapido. That's about all for this guy. He's basic. Nope. Proto Sounds Canada sound pack in this one too. Should keep mentioning that for George's sake. Hey, CN 4775, an Athearn Genesis from the probably one of the first runs here. Excuse me. Where to start with this guy? This guy, I did the lights on him. Yeah, he has miniatures by Eric. The lampshade ditch lights front and back. LEDs for the headlights were replaced. Scale sound system speaker, decoder buddy, power pack mini, ground lights, and then send it out to Rob. So I can weather really good myself, like very well. I'm really starting to like hit the upper echelon of my abilities in the last like couple months. But stuff like this still baffles me. You just stare at that and look at it, and it doesn't look like it was painted on. Like it looks like the ones we have at work, these faded zebras. Like it's just so well done. So until I, want to mix up 45 different colors of this brownie rust stuff and have a go at it, I'm just gonna keep sending my my zombie zebras out to Rob, and he can do them because, hey, that's all I can say. He's awesome at these, man. He really is. I have another one out there with him right now too. It's a little surprise, so you won't see it in this video. There's I have 5 units coming that are just gonna be, they're gonna be so awesome. I can't wait. Maybe by fall I'll have them to show off, but one of them is one like this. So that's what's happening to that one that's out with Rob. And this guy, what else to do with this guy? Reflective stripes. Oh, and then after he came back from Rob, I patched out his class lights. Their prototype, front and back too. So I just shaved them down with a knife and then airbrushed them black, because that's how they look in real life. They're just a square with some really bad spray painting over it. That's kind of CN's thing. Front and back, waste oil retention tank. Air dryer is on the other side on this one, so you can't see it, but it's on there. And added some extra decals. And that's about it. Just the standard. So that's all for this guy. Oh, Proto Sounds horn pack on here as well. And bell. It's so ugly, it's perfect. Okay, CN 9544. This is an Athearn Genesis, obviously, like the rest of them. I bought this one from Rob Arsenault, I believe. It was already weathered, but it wasn't like terribly weathered. It was just a light weathering, I think. He just had it that I think it was for a customer and they didn't want it or something. So I was looking for another one of these CN.CA 40s, so I asked him and he happened, so I took it. And then I got, you guessed it, scale sound system speaker, a decoder buddy, and power pack mini. It got the miniatures by Eric ditch lights, front and rear, ground lights, reflective striping, and then I stripped some of the weathering off that Rob did, just a little bit. Like I just pulled it down, and then I kind of just weathered over top of it just a little bit. That's all. I added some more fuel tank staining. It was great. I think I was experimenting with some enamel stain washes and stuff on this one. It looks awesome. Like I'm super happy with it. And that's air dryer. And the horn and bell pack, I'm not sure where it came from on this one. It's just an ESU file. I think I stole the sound slots out of something else and put them into this one or something. But anyway, that's all for this one. All right, IC9563. This unit I bought from my friend Matt Wooten. He did the beacons. That wasn't me. He did that. Then he gave it a slight weathering job, so I got it from him because I changed my 9563 into that 9568 with the side swipe orange on the side. Then I ripped up the Tsunami 2, sold it, put in ESU. With, guess what? A Decoder Buddy Power Pack Mini scale sound system speakers, and then gave it an updated weathering job, like the reflective stripes, did the window gaskets in it. I think I added a couple little things on top, but Matt's pretty good at detailing. He's really good at detailing, so there wasn't much to add to this one, honestly. I just blended the weathering in at the bottom a little bit, and then replaced the guts. Oh, added ground lights. So that's it for this one. I'm trying to talk real fast and squeeze this all in for you guys, so this video isn't 14 hours long. Beacons are pretty cool, huh? LED ditch lights from the factory, like the other IC units from that run. All right, CN9486, another Athearn Genesis, because most of the 4-axles are. I built this for another member at the club. It was 9486 out of the box. Yes, I didn't decal this one. Stripped the noodle off the front because it doesn't have the noodle's gone off of it. It does have factory LEDs in it, and then Decoder Buddy, obviously, because the Decoder Buddies make the LEDs from the factory look so much better. Ground lights, scale sound system speaker, reflective striping, and then weathering as per prototype. It's actually like the cleanest one I've ever seen. So I think that's it for this guy. Yep. Oh, sorry about the camera again, guys. I don't know what's happening. There you go. Zoom out there. All right, keep her on the tracks. Another job I did for TSM there. I did 2 of these slug sets for Mike. He has the other set at home. The other set I did a side swipe on in here, which looked really cool. These are just standard Rapido. I didn't move the nose logo down. He didn't opt for that option. Weathering, reflective striping, scale sound system speaker. Just in the lead, we didn't take apart the slug. And weathered, and then I also was looking at prototype photos and both of his slug sets. I didn't notice this, but from the factory, Rapido just left these little antenna holders black. So I painted them like the primer gray color along with the conduit, and then I added the horsehair antennas on there that you can just wipe past and they just go back to normal, which is cool. That's a Macrail product.
All right, with this guy done now, that's the end of our low horsepower CN roster, I guess, here. So that's all that's in service right now. I think maybe every year I'll try to do one of these roster videos. Yeah, I think next time I won't speak while I'm doing the video itself. And I noticed I said more stuff than I needed to, and I didn't want to make this thing an hour long. So I do like the little bit of details in each one, and then having it come on and off the bridge so you can hear the bell and the horn. But yeah, I think next time we'll do a little bit differently. But bear with me as we move through this. This is the second of 3 videos I made on this day, so I tried to burn through it as fast as I could. Proto Sound Canada is responsible for a lot of the horns and bells out here, so I'm going to put the link in the description for them. Scale sound system speakers are obviously equipped in every one of these units because they're just so well done. I'll put that link in the description. Macrail, Greg at Macrail makes just a whole plethora of awesome detail parts, so I'll put that link in the description. Smoke box reflective stripes. Yeah, they tone the yellow down a little bit, but the awesome thing about those is when it doesn't happen very often, but when the train's going by, just like on the railway cars, I try to put the reflective stripes in there too. The light catches it at the right angle, and it just glows up like the real ones, like conspicuity tape. It just glows, and that's kind of what it's all about. It's just for that one moment where it shines at you. It makes it so dynamic. I'll put that link in the description as well. Who else can I shout out here? I don't think there's anything else to really share, so I'll put those links in there, and that's all for this one, guys. Cheers and happy modeling.